All right, let's try this again. We're trying this again, y'all. All right. Oh, Skin Farm requested. Great. Did we do it?
Yay!
It
I
wouldn't.
am
It wouldn't let
dying
me hit
about
the
the
button.
amount of people that came forward. They were like, Brad came up from downstairs and he was like, Megan, what are you doing?
I love that Brad is watching.
Then texts were like, scroll all the way up and hit request.
Oh yeah, here we are.
Sorry, guys.
Oh my gosh, this is so exciting.
I'm like the old woman with calling it the Facebook. I'm like, what's this thing working?
All right, can we start off by doing my skincare and then we'll get into like questions and stuff?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Because I really want to wash my face.
You want to wash your face? All right.
Yes. I took a shower, so I washed it before.
You look
but
great.
then to do the skincare, I have to do it again.
Did you get your workout in?
Heck yeah.
Good for you.
Tried my best. All right, so which one would you like me to use? We have the polish.
I want you to start with, your cleanser. So you would start with either your papaya enzyme or gentle soothing cleanser. You have gentle soothing.
Yes.
So start with that. Do you have makeup on your face right now?
I don't.
Okay.
I have a nice little breakout that happened just for this live.
That's usually how it goes. If someone schedules a visit, they can come in and they have a fresh breakout so you can actually see it.
It's so great.
Okay, so if you had makeup on, I would say to apply your cleanser to dry skin and then work up a really nice lather. I'm going to move this a little bit.
So what is the reason for doing your cleanser with dry skin?
Dry versus wet. So if you're trying to really remove makeup, then I like it being dry, work it in a lather, and then add water and work it in a lather even more. It just helps get off all the makeup.
Well, that's good to know now that I've been doing this for years and haven't been doing
That's what I do a lot of this just like out of like muscle memory or just second nature. And someone will watch a video. I think Kaylee, our marketing director, was like, I just started washing my face differently at 31 years old. So all the tips.
Well, because I feel like I get off set and I just maybe it's bad. Maybe I should be using like makeup wipes or something, but I just rub my whole face and I rub it on my eyes to take my mascara off and stuff, and it takes everything off.
Yeah, it takes the makeup off. You can use these. So Katie's using the Gentle Soothing, guys, which is, I'm like, I can even do this for you. And then we also have papaya enzyme. So she's using something that has just straight peptides and botanical extracts, and it's like a milky gel that removes makeup, but then nothing active in it, right, Katie? So you prefer a cleanser without salicylic acid, but
I have very sensitive skin, so I can't. So I've used the clarifying. I'm gonna use that next, right? The brightening polish.
Yeah, you're gonna do the polish next.
So this has a little salicylic acid, but it's not enough that it actually affects me the way other salicylic acid things do.
So
but this has little beads, so it takes all of my dead skin and stuff off.
Right.
That's kind of gross, but who cares?
It's like a little facial at home.
I love it.
So that's exfoliating.
I also need to preface to all of my followers, Megan's not paying me to do this. I just literally, to my followers, I need everybody.
If anything, Katie's paying me because I'm like,
no, I talk to my reps and everything, and I'm like, look, I don't want to promote to my followers anything that I don't actually use or that doesn't actually work for me. And I'm just I found Skin Farm and it changed my skin, so I'm like, I want other people. Everybody always asks me what I do, so
that's awesome. Yeah, you've been doing it for a few years now, right?
Yeah, I think I met you in 2014.
Yeah. Wow, really?
No, end of 2015, going into 16.
Okay.
I think.
All right. So that was a couple years in. That was pre-national flagship. So.
You know what? It was 2016.
So 3 years later. Okay. So we've known each other for 4 years. And I've helped Katie with her routine. With her being an actor, we've had to adjust it. Skin is moody. So she's texted me, called me, been like, what do I do now? My skin is acting different. Or if you're recording up north, that's entirely different than when you're living here in Tennessee. So I think that's a really good point that we've adjusted your routine just based on what your needs are. Nice and squeaky clean.
All right, and I brought my other skincare into my closet.
Perfect. We're going in the closet now?
We're going into the closet.
Okay. I'll move the cleanser to the side.
We're in the
So
closet.
that's step one, cleanse. Really important. I wouldn't overlook it. Cleanse morning and night. And I don't know, do you want to save questions for the end, or do you have any questions regarding
I'm going to
cleansers?
save questions for the end. We'll do my
Okay.
skincare routine, and then I just have a couple questions for you in general.
Okay.
These are my lifesaver, you guys.
They're the best.
These. I'm not messing around.
I can probably let you talk about those, Katie.
I mean, you can talk better about like what's in them, but I just know when you first introduce them to me, like I get oily here, here, and here,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm also really dry. And so
Right.
I need something that's not gonna dry out my skin,
Mm-hmm.
but is also gonna take care of those oils and all of that. So then you told me about these.
Claire?
And so I do these morning and night. And I think the other thing with my skincare routine that I told you is obviously on set. I have makeup on all day. I have people continuing to powder me all day. So then the makeup's like piling on. And I need something that's still gonna like be working under all of that.
Right. And so that's what, when you say you're dry, do you get dry on your cheeks? Or just everywhere?
Honestly, I get dry around my mouth.
Okay. So what's nice about these too, so you see that Katie's putting on a pad. I like to say that you basically have the power of a serum on a pad, and then after she's done applying that to her face, you can just toss it in the trash. So it's disposable.
Yeah. And somebody just asked in the comments if these are made special per person. They're not. They're just...
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
So they're not, and it's because, and I don't know how many people that are already using it are following, but I'm watching the comments, and I think people are saying that all different types of skin use them. So you can be acne prone, oily, dry. You can even be sensitive, and you're just going to use these at different cadences. So like I use it 2 to 3 times a week. Madeline, one of the nurse practitioners at Skin Farm, I think uses them like twice a day. And then someone with dry skin, I know Chelsea, I don't know how often she's using it, but she might use it like once a week. So that's what's so great about these is you're really in control of how often you're exfoliating, but they're just the same percentage for everyone. And they have salicylic acid, glycolic acid, and lactic acid. I'm gonna turn on this light really quick. Is that a little bit better? Yeah.
Yep.
And it has 2% salicylic acid, 5% glycolic, 5% lactic.
Yeah. So for me, I use them daily. I use them twice a day, morning and in my nighttime routine.
Yeah.
But if I'm running out of them, I wind up choosing at what point of the day I want to use them.
Or you're cutting them in
sometimes
half.
that winds up being at night, like after I've taken all my makeup off. Because the thing that I like about it is it almost has like a toning effect too. Because I'll wash my face and then I use it and it takes off. Like you can see, even though I've washed my face, there's like still stuff that's on there that it gets off.
Right. Yeah. And that's a really good, when I talk to people and they say, hey, I'm still getting a lot of makeup off, like when they're applying this toner pad, that's a really good measure to say, I probably need to wash my face a little better. It might be that you do a double cleanse or that you're just cleansing for longer. In general, you want to cleanse for 30 to 60 seconds and really lather, as we talked about earlier. So with these pads, the salicylic acid works down in the pore. So that's why it's so great for breakouts. And that's why, I mean, people just keep them on hand. I know people travel with these and they just really knock out those breakouts quickly. And then the glycolic acid works on the surface and that's your brightener. But then the lactic acid is even a hydrating ingredient. So I've had people say, I had to go without them and I actually didn't feel as hydrated. So it's such a good
Well, and that's good
trio of
for me
acids.
because it really helps with all of my, like, from wearing makeup all the time on set, sometimes I'll break out into things that are like cystic, so they don't have heads and
Right.
they just like kind of hurt. But since I've started using these for the past couple of years, like I don't get cystic pimples anymore.
Yeah. I just saw a question about when to use the pads. We probably 99% of the time recommend them in the morning, just because that's when it works out really nicely in the routine, and we'll go through when to put the products on and what you use at nighttime. But some people use it at night, or like Katie, when she has weird hours that she's on set, you might be like, I need to do my full morning routine like in the afternoon or at night. Or we'll have night shift nurses who will actually flip-flop their routine. So in general, I would put it on in the morning, but that's why we always recommend that skin consult too, because we can move it around for you if you need.
So it's basically like whenever you're starting your day is when you would do that morning routine.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Cool.
So
all
you
right, what am I
cleanse
doing
and then
next?
you tone. And so next I would do eyes.
Okay.
Do you have your eye with you?
I do.
There you go. So
I've actually noticed, like, I will be honest, the eyes are the like one thing that I'm bad at keeping up with putting on. It's the thing that I forget the most. But then when I'm on set, I'm like, damn, I should have done it. Because then I see sometimes, like, because I'm not using it, I get dry there. And then I see like fine lines where my makeup is creasing in there.
So I feel like people are either believers in eye products or they're just not. And they think that whatever products they're using on the rest of their face will work on their eye area, which isn't bad. I mean, I'd rather you at least be using something, but I'm a believer.
You put it on your lid.
What's that?
You put it on your lid?
Do upper lid too. So when you talked about hydrating, the hyaluronic acid in this is going to hydrate. And then the peptides work on the lines and wrinkles. And these are peptides that are specific to the skin around your eyes, guys. So it's not like, well, if I'm using youth serum, why would I also use the youth eye complex? The youth eye complex has actual peptides that help that lymphatic drainage. So if you feel like you're puffy, then this is geared towards that. Or it also has brightening ingredients. So it helps the main two concerns that I hear the most at Skin Farm, which are the darkness and the puffiness around the eyes. So yeah, I notice a huge difference when I use them.
Yeah, well, I need to, like, my mom in her older age, she's still young and beautiful, but, you know, she struggles with getting puffiness under her eyes. And so I'm like, I have her genes. I have to start doing this.
Right. Well, yeah, you can usually, like, look at your family members and kind of know which path you're taking and try to get a grip on that early on. So looking glowing.
I think that, you know, a lot of questions that I was getting was about how skincare costs so much, but I'm like, if you find something that works for you and you're spending that money, like, I mean, I go through, this lasts me probably like a month and a half. And I'm like, I would rather find something that works for me than spend so much money going through all different kinds of skincare products trying to find what works for me. It's like, in my opinion, I'm like, if I take care of my skin now, I'm not going to need to like get stuff done later on.
Right. That's incredibly true too. I mean, we talk a lot about like preventative treatments, but we're talking about products today. So even preventative products, it does make a difference. And like you said, it keeps you from not having to invest in these like deeper treatments later on, like resurfacing lasers. I'm not saying that you won't, but I think it'll just be more minimal because you started earlier. So, and
now all of these products, somebody just asked, are they for every skin type?
So some of them are specific to skin types, and if so, we list that on the website. But what we've done, and if you guys look at the skincare that we carry, it's not a really noisy skincare line, and that was so intentional because we are not believers in saying like, you know, men and women need to use different skincare, or even lighter skin types and darker skin types. That's just really not how it works. The biggest difference is if you're dry or oily, but it's going to go back to how I said, like how frequent you use the product.
Yeah.
So Both of our cleansers are for all skin types. We would say that if you're a little more oily, then grab that papaya because it has the hint of salicylic acid that works on the oil production.
And for me, like, I mean, somebody just asked, how do you find what works for you without spending like a whole bunch of unnecessary money? And that's where I would say you guys do consults. So you guys could schedule something with Megan or anybody from Skin Farm and do an on the phone kind of consultation about what is going on with your skin, what's affecting you, and then you guys kind of recommend what they could use. Like I use the papaya, and for me, because I have really sensitive skin, for some reason my skin reacted and got little bumps, so then the gentle cleanser was what worked better for me.
Right.
So it's like we kind of got to just figure it out with you guys and figure it out with yourself.
And I mean, if you don't go the product consult route, I mean, we do a lot of educating on our feed too. We really try to do product and ingredient breakdown because the way that we're making decisions of what products to carry in our line have to do with the ingredients. We're very like research based, these ingredients that work. So you can also find a lot of that information on the web, on our website. So yeah.
Speaking of, what am I putting on my face next?
Okay, so next up is serums. I do the youth serum and then the glow factor, but you could do the glow factor and then the youth serum. Either of those would work. I like to do the youth serum next because I just take it and splash it all over my entire face.
This is like, sometimes I'm just like, in the summer, I don't even need a moisturizer really other than my SPF. Like in the winters, I have to do my biotherapy cream too. Yeah. But like in the summer, I'll put this on and then just do my SPF, and it like keeps me hydrated. And other important thing, what you do to your face, you do to your neck, right?
It's very true, Katie. Your face extends.
Don't want an old neck.
You don't. You can tell who. I mean, I started taking care of my skin in my 20s, and I think it took me a minute, and I'm like, one day I looked at my neck and I was like, what have I been doing? I can tell a difference in where I've really been taking care of my skin. The youth serum's for everyone, guys. So the pads and the youth serum are our most popular products.
I'm just going to say, if you can only get 2 things from Skin Farm, like if you're like budgeting yourself, that's all you could get the clarifying pads and the youth serum. Like that's what I would do.
Well, and between those 2 products, you target so many different things. So that's a great combo and a great starting point, and you're going to see results. And like Katie said, the youth serum is a moisturizer. It's lightweight. So if how Katie said, she uses the biotherapy sometimes. If you're dry, you might add another moisturizer on, but the youth serum is where it's at. It's just good for everyone. My hubby uses it too. I think we've got some men on it.
And then I've been using this glow factor, which I used to use antioxidant serum, which kind of looks like in the same bottle, but I replaced it with the glow factor. But do you kind of put this on similarly to the youth serum, where you just kind of rub it in your hands and put it all over?
So
I feel like I've been putting it on wrong.
So we advise people to do 4 to 6 drops and then stamp it into your skin. So that is different. That's a different application than the youth serum, where we say use like maybe a half or even a full pipette. Shake it every time. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go through how we mix this up too. But go ahead and apply it, Katie, like the youth serum. I've been doing that while at home, and it has me super glowy, and my skin isn't irritated at all. Ascorbic acid can be irritating for sensitive skin types, especially when you introduce it.
I mean, I can feel it. Like it does a little tingle on me, but it doesn't like affect me and where I get like a breakout or something.
Good. Well, and if anything, so when we were trying this out prior to including it in our line, we felt that it was helping with breakouts, and we typically don't really educate that ascorbic acid helps with breakouts. It's more so anti-aging and brightening, but that's why we fell in love with it. So something Katie was talking about is that she shakes it every time. When you get this, it comes in a vial, this amber vial, which helps protect it from light. And then it also comes, mine's mixed, so I don't have it, but it comes in a little powder.
Like a little powder.
Yeah. And that's the active, that's the vitamin C. So you mix that in. So that means that you have like peak freshness when you get it. but it does mean that you have to mix it. So you're like playing chemist at home, and you have to shake it super vigorously and then let it sit and then shake it again. And I shake it with every use. What do you do, Katie? It looks like
I mean,
you.
this was my first time getting Glow Factor, so I shook it, and I mean, I didn't shake it twice, so I remember putting it on. It still had a little bit of the
Like grittiness.
grittiness from the
Mhm.
powder, but it absorbed into my skin still, so it wasn't like I had like sand feeling on my face, you know?
Right. And so that's why we'd say stamp it in, so you're not like exfoliating your skin
Yeah.
with what could feel like sand. Something to not do.
I also need to say I love all of these Skin Farm nurse practitioners up in here answering the questions in the comments.
I saw that. That's what I laughed at a minute ago. I was like, she just totally dropped a clinical answer. I love it.
I love it.
This is a motivated team. We love it.
Yes.
So don't stick this in the fridge, guys, especially when you first get it, because if you do, it's going to thicken and it could crystallize. So leave it at room temp. It's protected in the amber bottle. This comes, when you receive it, it's 21% vitamin C. That's high. And it was really made that way because we know that with time, vitamin C can degrade. So it's totally fine to leave it on the shelf and not in the refrigerator. I mean, maybe don't have it like cooking under a light, but and then if you're using it as directed, you run through it before it sits on the shelf for like 6 to 12 months. So
yeah,
I love the Glow Factor.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
next
now,
up would be moisturizer. Do you feel like you need one?
probably, like sometimes when I use the Glow Factor, I'm left with like, it feels a little like sticky. Not like sticky, but that's the wrong word.
Right.
But
Dewy or glazed.
yeah, like glazed.
Yeah.
Do I use this in the morning, the brightening lotion?
Yes. So you can use it once or twice daily. So this is lightweight.
Should I do that now?
Yeah. You're gonna look even dewier. I love it.
Okay.
I'm like, get me as like wet looking as I can. But
Well,
so
that's
this
like
has,
some makeup artists will do your makeup and then they like almost steam it.
okay.
Like steam your makeup to like make it dewy.
That's
interesting.
Okay. I wondered if you were going to say that they like it to look matte, but I love that they like the dewy look.
Well,
too.
on camera you like it to look matte, but anytime I've done anything, you know, you get the highlighters and you want to look dewy and beachy and
and that's how you look. Who would even know that you're in quarantine right now? Not me. Not anyone. And exactly what you're doing.
Great.
Put it on your neck too. So that is a very non-irritating brightener, guys. That lotion has arbutin in it. So it doesn't have any of the common brighteners, hydroquinone and kojic acid, which we do use in other formulations, but this is just really good for people who have sensitive skin that didn't respond well to those other ones. Yeah, it's great. So you could do it tonight too, Katie.
Awesome. So do I do that in place of my biotherapy cream? Because I normally at night, what I do is I have my clarifying pads that I use. Depending on how bad my breakouts are, I'll then do my retinol and then I do my biotherapy cream.
That's good. So you could put the brightening lotion underneath the biotherapy.
Okay.
It might feel a little heavy, so try that out. You could always move the brightening lotion to your face, the biotherapy to your neck. Since the biotherapy is a cream, I sometimes will move that to my neck during warmer months when I don't want it on my face.
Yeah.
But that kind of gives you the education you need to like move it around and feel comfortable with it.
Now, do you recommend that people use retinol every day? Because for me, like when I was filming, I couldn't use retinol every day because of how dry it was making my skin, because then all of the makeup was kind of like holding on to the dry areas and we didn't want to draw attention to that.
Right.
So I had to do it like every 2 to 3 days.
That's fine.
And
so
every day on the weekends.
And on the weekends, I use it all the time. You don't have to use retinol every night. So a lot of these skincare ingredients, guys, we have receptors in our skin that receive them, and they can become saturated. So it's good to be in a routine. It's good to have goals, because I feel like a lot of people will be like, I got up to using it every night. But it's not really necessary. You're going to get the benefit from using it like you are 2 to 3 times a week. And there are other great ingredients out there too. So for me, like I alternate retinol. You should not use retinol while pregnant, but while with my azelaic acid.
Emma gets pregnant,
I'm like,
guys.
disclaimer. We'll talk about pregnant skincare later.
Yeah.
So because I have these other ingredients that I want to get in my skincare routine too, I'm not using retinol every night, and I don't think you have to, especially if it's tearing up your face, guys. So the point is, you want results, but you don't want to cause too much inflammation, because then that just creates other skin problems.
Yeah. And like you were saying, we didn't really get too in depth in it, but like your skin changes. So like sometimes I call you and I'm like, hey, I've been using the biotherapy cream, but now I just find that I'm getting super oily. So then I back off on that and use something lighter. So like in the summer, when I'm already producing a lot of oils on my faces and stuff, like I don't need as much moisture because I don't get as dry because of the humidity in the air and all of that. But then when I go to Montreal and it's like -degrees, my face is just needing moisture. So then I incorporate something heavier. So like you were saying, I think just knowing about your skin and watching what your skin is reacting to at different weathers, different times of the month. If you're a girl and you're getting your period and stuff is freaking out, you might need to attack it harder.
People are like,
that's what I do. I'm like clarifying pads.
No, it's so true though. Yeah, I mean your hormones fluctuate, and during that time you might need different chemical exfoliants that you can't tolerate otherwise. So and definitely with the seasons, I like to talk about how your skincare routine is going to change up, just like your wardrobe. And I don't think it's always going to be like you wipe out your skincare routine, you start a whole new one. It might be something as simple as how Katie was like, I've always got biotherapy cream. Sometimes it hangs out on the shelf during the spring and summertime, but then you whip it back out during fall and winter.
Yeah.
So cool.
And then, I'm going to use my tinted SPF.
What is Claire saying right now? Okay, are you using sheer or 100% mineral tinted?
I'm going to do 100% mineral tinted because in this quarantine, I'm finding that like looking like I have a little bit of makeup on makes me feel like I'm not in quarantine. So.
Yes. Okay, so you just brought up a really good point, which is that so we have two tinted facial SPFs, and the 100% mineral is a little bit thicker. It's a little bit thicker in general. It's a little more hydrating, and then the coverage is a little bit more covering. No, you're great. I'm like looking, I'm like, right, it's more covering than the sheer. And I would say that it's like a BB cream or CC cream. What do you think, Katie?
I would say it's like a BB cream, CC cream. Well, actually, you know what? I would say that the sheer is kind of like covering. A BB cream. Okay. And a CC cream is more covering. So I would say that the 100% mineral is more like a CC cream.
All right.
Because even that, like you can see, I mean, right now I was rubbing my face, so it's a little red, but like there's more color to it.
Yeah, so it evens your skin tone, but it lets your skin breathe. And I think it's like that nice, healthy look, but also does camouflage some of the imperfections.
My mom just commented that my dad uses the brightening lotion and the sheer SPF.
I remember when they got that, and I wondered if he really would. That's amazing.
Yeah, he uses it.
Oh, go Dad. It looks so good.
Well, for me, SPF I've been learning is so important. My mom just commented saying he uses sheer defense. But SPF is so important. In the last year, both of my parents, past year and a half, both my parents were diagnosed with melanoma. And they're fine. They had their surgeries, removed it, and they're good now. But they wear SPF and stuff, but their generation were these sun worshipers, and back then we didn't have enough information about how important SPF is and protecting your skin is. And I have moles all over my body, so for me, I'm kind of pale is perfect to me. I could get a spray tan or anything. My dad says I need more.
Which one? Both of them. The brightening lotion or the sheer defense? I love it.
Yeah, but that's definitely and even learning from you just how important SPF is for our skin, no matter what season it is. It's just it's not just in the summer.
Right. And then the sheer SPF, as Katie said, so there's less coverage, and that's why a lot of men do like it. So don't let the tint and the SPF scare you if you are male and you're like, is it going to be like makeup? I think that it's kind of a nice camouflage that they wouldn't get otherwise. But if you don't want the tint, then we have what's called clear, which is, it's just a white SPF, and that might also be what you like, and all of those are on the website too.
And are you guys going to start making like more shades of the tinted for like different skin tones?
We're looking into it.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. This is generally pretty universal, but
I mean, yeah, it like blends in. It's not super
right.
like white, you know?
Right. Yeah. Doesn't make you look like ghostly.
Yeah. I want to get into more questions, but first I have some questions for you, especially in this quarantine. You know, there are a lot of small businesses that are struggling, and first I kind of want you to just like explain to people how your vision for Skin Farm kind of got started and how you got to where you are, because now you just opened another Skin Farm in Atlanta, which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're super young, owning your own business, creating your own products, and, you know, a lot of people are inspired by that. So I just kind of want you to talk about how you got started, how this coronavirus stuff is affecting small businesses, and like what you guys are doing to keep going.
Yeah. I mean, so for what Katie's talking about, we opened Atlanta. We were open for 2 weeks before the coronavirus shut everything down. But being a small business during this is clearly challenging. I think knowing that like all small businesses are in this together is sadly like somewhat comforting, but you also mourn it even more because you know so many people are going through this.
Yeah.
Some worse, some better off, but for us, we've thankfully just really focused on online, and we felt that support from the Skin Farm community that it's almost like everyone was like ready to kind of pick up from coming to our physical locations where we do treatments too that we're not able to do virtually. But they've really supported us online. It's been awesome, seriously. Yeah. But we're ready to open again. I mean,
I'm ready for you to open again. I just sometimes go to the Skin Farm office just to say hi.
Paul you do.
Paul makes fun of me because every time I would come home from Montreal, like if we were up there shooting and I got to like come home for a long weekend, I would land, leave my bags, and then get in my car and I would drive to Skin Farm and get like the skincare products that I ran out of. And like he didn't
like,
even
what are we doing?
My husband didn't even need to ask where I was going. He was like, all right, say hi to Megan for me.
And then we'd sit in the back and talk. And yeah, we're ready. So right now, guys, our physical locations are shut down, and we acted pretty quickly when we saw things worsening. I think it was like Monday the 16th that we made the decision. And being healthcare, you know, we're medical healthcare, but it's elective, it's cosmetic, and it's elective, and we really felt that we needed to do our part. So we have an incredible team in Nashville and Atlanta, and we're doing phone consults. Like we're busy with phone consults. It's amazing how many people are calling in. And
that's a good thing for people to know, like, especially like you helped my best friend who lives in Connecticut. You know, she doesn't live in Nashville or Atlanta to be able to come in, but she scheduled a phone consult with you guys and was able to get all of her Skin Farm products delivered to her, and like she did a before and after, and it was just crazy. Like the acne marks and the scarring that she had, and then the after was just like unbelievable.
I know exactly who you're talking about. I think Sarah's been helping too. Yeah, she looks awesome. That's like the best part, because so it started with treatments and not like this online presence with shipping skincare, and I think we kind of did it to become available, and then we were getting these really awesome before and afters from like West Coast, and we were like, that's so crazy how we can help people from far away. So the phone consults are good. We ship your product, and tag us in all those so we can keep track of your progress. We love seeing the before and afters.
Yeah.
So Skin Farm, I had this group of patients that were like super special, and I had an idea of what I wanted to do for them, and the idea was really like what I wanted, because I was like, what do I want when I go to a place like this? And it was so specific, like what furniture I wanted, what playlist I wanted, like what menu of services I wanted, what I wanted the providers to like believe in and how they treated people. And I realized it was only going to happen if I took the leap. So that's what really pushed me to start Skin Farm.
Amazing.
And here it is.
And here it is. And you're doing so well. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And I need to say, like, in true bold type fashion, bold women, inspiring women, like,
yeah, girl.
Also, like, men who support strong women, your husband who helps you with so much. But everybody who works at Skin Farm are like strong, beautiful, talented women who uplift each other. And, you know, they're all so good at what they do. You guys are like moms too. You guys are just like super
like moms too. It's a group of just like really smart, driven women, and it's really awesome. Like we all lift each other up, and that's why it's like I feel like we're not even skipping a beat with this. We're not bored. We're busy. We're just getting creative. And I think just being like young and forward thinking, we're like, okay, well, what can we do for our patients next? And I think it started with how I've always felt about my patients. Like we're here because of our patients. So we're just always willing to do the next best thing to keep it exciting and elevate the experience.
Yeah. Well, let's like give people a little consult now. I got a bunch of questions sent in to me on my DMs, so I'm going to read people's handles who asked the questions. But there were a couple people that asked similar things, so I'll just address them one by one.
Cool.
So Renata Spurig wants to know a good skincare routine for pregnant women.
Okay. So it would be cleanse, like maybe Renata's writing this down. Cleanse with either the Gentle Soothing Cleanser or the Papaya Enzyme Cleanser. Both of those are safe. The Papaya is 0.4%. If you're pregnant, you can use 2% or less. So you can use either of those. And then I would follow with the toner pads. So the toner pads are safe too, because those are 2% salicylic acid and then 5% glycolic and lactic. Typically, glycolic and lactic, which are your AHAs, your alpha hydroxy acids, you're good to go on those. The salicylic acid, they just don't want you over a certain percentage. So do the cleanser, either of the two I mentioned, and then I would do the toner. You can do the Youth Eye that Katie did. That's the one eye product that we have for all skin types. Yeah, perfect.
I'll lift them up.
And again, Renata, this depends on your skin concerns. So I would want to know like what you've used and what's worked for you, what hasn't worked for you, what you're trying to gain.
And to clarify, toning pads are the clarifying pads, right?
Yes, they are.
See what I did there?
I do see what you did there. Follow with the two serums that Katie used, which is what I used. I would do the Youth and the Glow Factor. SPF, always, always, always. If you're dry, add in the brightening lotion or the biotherapy before that SPF. And then at night, we didn't really talk about night routine, but you cleanse again. Mm-hmm. And then you would do serums. So the Youth serum you can use once or twice daily. Vitamin C, we really say to use once daily. It's all you need. Like we talked about, your receptors can become saturated, and it's, vitamin C is not cheap. So I wouldn't use it unless you have to.
And that's retinol, the thing is like a little goes a long way. Like when you're using any of these serums, the Youth Eye, like you need a teeny tiny bit, and it goes such a long way. And I think that's a lot of people don't have somebody to consult. So like they get this skincare, or they, buy something like from the drugstore that they're going to use, and they use so much of it. So then investing in a skincare that might cost a little bit more is like overwhelming because they're like, that's a tiny bottle. I'm going to go through that so fast. Whereas it's like you need a teeny bit.
It's just drops. And that's the thing about a serum is that serums are typically, you're going to find that any serum worth using is a little more expensive. And so like our youth serum costs less than our Glow Factor, but that's because the youth serum costs us less to make it than the vitamin C.
Yeah.
So it's usually equivalent to how much it costs you to even make that product available to everyone. But my point is that serums tend to be more expensive because they're more potent and packed, and they work. And like you said, they're going to last you. You're not going to go through it in a week. And then even the youth serum, most people probably get like 3 months. I love that you were like, yeah, I get a month and a half. But
well, I mean, because I sometimes have to wipe my makeup off.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'll be doing like a scene where I'm full glam, and then I'm doing a scene where I have to have no makeup on. So I kind of have to, I don't redo like my clarifying pads, but like in order to maintain moisture, I'll use my youth serum again so that I'm not just putting makeup on my bare face, so that I have something under there that's kind of protecting me and healing me. So I go through things a little bit faster, but that's because I'm also rotating makeup looks and stuff on set. When I'm just home, it lasts me so much longer.
Right. Yeah, that makes total sense. So I didn't wrap up.
Oh, you're good.
Were we talking about pregnancy safe or just skincare?
Pregnancy
safe. So retinol's usually out. All of this I would run by your OBGYN because it's really, mine's pretty lenient. But retinol is going to be a no. Any salicylic acid over 2% is no, and then no hydroquinone. Providers that are listening, is there anything else that I'm forgetting? I think those are the main things. I will say growth factors, there's not much research on whether or not you should use them. So we typically say for anti-aging, we prefer peptides over growth factors, but that's what's in our skincare line.
So next question, I've gotten a lot of questions about this. I can't personally because I don't struggle with it, but Lauren Wood 77 asks, I have super sensitive dry skin and rosacea. What advice do you have or products do you have for calming redness / rosacea?
Okay. So I have rosacea as well. It's not fun, but I always like to talk about, so we should touch on, and I'll make this quick, but we should touch on like lifestyle and products and potential medications and even treatments. So for lifestyle, usually there's measures that you can take at home to make sure that you don't have those flares as often. So there's triggers such as alcohol or spicy foods or just hot drinks, emotional stress. So if you can eliminate those, I know it's not fun. Like I know that red wine is usually going to make my rosacea flare. So I have to be selective when I do drink it. You're like, man. But eliminating those things can really help. So that's your lifestyle. And then also UV radiation, guys. So sun exposure definitely can worsen rosacea. So by eliminating that, that will help. Skincare, SPF is super important. Niacinamide, we love for rosacea, and that's in that sheer defense SPF and the clear defense SPF. So it's great for rosacea patients.
Right.
And then that brightening lotion has actually worked really well to help clear up that like background redness that people get. Yeah, I love that.
I mean, even as we've been sitting here, my redness has gone down.
Yeah, that's a great product for rosacea prone skin. And then azelaic acid we really like too, and we have a prescription in-house, so that can go to Tennessee and Georgia residents because that's where we are licensed and can prescribe. But if you wanted azelaic acid outside of those states, you could do the Epionce Lytic TX, and we're all pretty consistent. If you call and you have rosacea, you're probably going to get the same recommendations from all of us, but those are the ingredients I focus on. Medication, so if you're seeing someone, you might get into actually being prescribed to like a low dose antibiotic. Doesn't work like an antibiotic, it's actually sub-antimicrobial, so you'd use it at like 40 or 50 milligrams. Probably not worth going into too much depth on here though. And then we love photofacials for redness, we really do. So photofacial is your IPL or BBL, And those are really, really good to help clear up the redness. I think we've done some photofacials for you.
I've done a photofacial. So I have like dark spots that I have from acne marks that we've kind of touched on. And so it's one of those ones where you put on those goggles as if you're going to be tanning.
Yeah.
And then
you're doing
like
the opposite.
Yeah, what does it look like? It's like it basically it feels like somebody's smacking you with rubber bands, which I know doesn't sound great, but then
Katie cries in her
awesome.
treatments though, not
I cry every facial I get. Like she does this one. Which one is it?
It's our stamper. It's our gold infusion, which is really, 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 really small needles and very also short needles. So, but it stamps into your skin, and she just sobs the whole time.
But I'm so sensitive on my face. Like I'm sensitive. If I get a piercing, my eyes tear up. If I get my eyebrows waxed, which I haven't done in years, my eyes tear up. Like I just anything, my eyes tear up. So you're never making me cry. It's just that's what happens.
Just how you react. It's
Yeah.
just the actor in you.
Yeah.
So the photofacial, yeah, it can feel like little rubber band snaps. It's fast. I shouldn't say this, but I've like stood in the mirror and done it to myself. So if you can do that, then I think, it's pretty tolerable. So it might last like 5 to 10 minutes. Don't do it.
I'm sure if I was doing it to myself, I would probably not cry. Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like with each pulse, it would be interesting.
So another question, Bianca BP wants to know at what age should you start using anti-aging products? Can I just say something really quick? I hate the term anti-aging because we're all going to age.
Do you like age management?
Well, I think that there's I think that there's no way that you could prevent aging.
Like we're all going
and you
that
shouldn't.
way.
Like, I feel like so many people are like anti-aging and they try to use it as this thing to like lure women and make us feel ashamed of how we age. Whereas it's just like, why don't we just take care of ourselves as we age? Like, that's what we're doing, obviously.
Aging gracefully.
Aging gracefully products.
A lot of when I'm talking about products and treatments, I talk about just like getting a grip on the aging process because I agree. And even like getting into the results of how we inject and do our treatments, like we are usually hoping to make someone feel like 5 to 10 years younger, if that makes sense. So it's just like, youthful, but like age appropriate too, not like decades younger. That's not really how we work. So I'm with you. I
just think that it's like more empowering to like have that conversation of more so like you're gonna age and you're gonna be beautiful while you age, and here's how we help you to do that. And that's always what you guys do. But I'm more so talking about like commercials that you see where they're like anti-aging,
right?
And you're
stop
like
the aging process now.
Yeah, and you're like you're not gonna stop it. We're all gonna age, but like let's like age like Helen Mirren,
I saw it's absolutely age management approved. Brad said I started Botox way too late. So it was the weird, he's so stubborn, that's my husband. And I started getting Botox at 24 and I'm 32. And I didn't really go over the timeline of like opening Skin Farm, but we opened our flagship in Nashville in 2009. Oh my gosh. 18 or 19, guys, I don't even know. We started Skin Farm in 2017, moved to Skin Farm Nashville 2019, and he wouldn't get Botox until I moved to my flagship. Like, that was his new thing. He was like, well, whenever you move into your new building, I'll get Botox. And I was like, that's a disservice to you, but that's fine.
Yeah.
But he loves it.
Well, so explain to people, because I think it's really interesting, like
2019.
you see like people who are like in the entertainment industry who like take like Botox and fillers to like an extreme that people like get scared of it. But like for people who are scared of Botox and stuff, like what would you say to them? Because I mean, you said you started Botox at 24. and like you look natural and fine, and it's like it's not this crazy thing. It's like, from what you've explained to me, like Botox, you are trying to prevent the wrinkles before they happen, whereas then if you're doing Botox to your wrinkles, you're just freezing your wrinkles, right?
So
Is that how that works?
And someone just asked, yes, it is worth doing the products if you don't do Botox. You don't have to only that. Yeah, you will totally benefit from the products without doing.
Oh yeah, you don't need Botox to do the products.
No, so I don't have any right now because I can't during pregnancy. But for Botox, so we don't get too. I would say, providers, you guys can tell me what you think, but I would say that we don't even get too excited about the whole preventative Botox movement. Like, we are very much so, we want you to come in with that static line, meaning that line at rest, to have something to target. We won't really just aimlessly inject to say, let's just stop the muscle from moving right now so that you never get a line. Because if you
because then you're those people that look crazy and you just like don't move.
Right, where they look really tight. And then typically when people look unwell is when they've had like a combination of things done. It's usually filler too, and maybe even some like more invasive procedures. So all of that just needs to be done minimally, and the whole face and the whole appearance of the person needs to be considered when doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Somebody asked, what is a good skincare routine for people who don't have Skin Farm products or can't get Skin Farm products? Because I know you guys only ship within the US. So for people who don't live in the States and can't get the products, like what are some things you can recommend for people to have like a healthy skincare routine without having the products?
Brad, you need to get us shipping outside of the US.
Yeah.
Stat. So we would recommend a consult still, so that we can talk about your skin and your goals and what products we would put you on. And if you tell us at that time that you're out of the country and you're not going to be able to use them, we could still break down the ingredients for you, and then we can find alternatives that we think are best. We're obviously biased to Skin Farm, but we would be more than willing to help, but it would still require a consult, unless if you wanted to do that online shopping and like really research our ingredients and look at the ingredients and try to line it up with another line.
Awesome. That's exciting. All right. So Kelsey Hoff said, I used to have flawless skin and now I have the worst adult acne breakouts. Tried everything from Proactiv to toners to glycolic face washes. And when it comes to makeup, I'm careful about what I put on my skin. So what can she do to kind of tackle that? I mean, do you think that a lot of like skin stuff also has to do with diet, like you were saying for rosacea?
So it can. I don't typically educate that diet is a cause of acne or rosacea, but it can be like a factor. It's involved and it can make things worse. Because even when talking about rosacea, there's different causes that I didn't even mention that are very medical, like the actual process and how the vessels in your face become leaky, and that's why you have that flare. So those are your causes.
Yeah.
So back to acne, usually it's going to be hormones, which is likely what's going on for this person, which is so annoying. I know when you're like, I had clear skin when I'm younger, so why do I have breakouts now when I'm an adult and I'm already dealing with like fine lines and wrinkles from aging? Now there's acne on top of it. But I would say that we can probably treat it if it's mild or moderate with topical skincare still. Sometimes it does require an oral prescription. And then again, it's going to be a phone consult, but some of the products you mentioned and ingredients that you mentioned you used, we'd probably recommend again, but we would just make sure that we develop this routine that's reasonable for you to do. Yeah. And then you just want to stick to it for a good 6 to 12 weeks to see if it works for you.
Because that's to say, I mean, you know, we did my skincare routine, but like, that's my skincare routine. Like what works for me, like what my problems with my skin are my own, because it's my body. My body's different than your body, than anybody who's watching's body. So anybody who's watching, like, we keep saying it, but set up a call with Skin Farm to have a consult and talk about what it is specifically that you deal with. You might wind up using the same products as me, but it's at least good for you to be able to look and see what products you could be using to tackle whatever
Right.
you're dealing with.
Or, I mean, if you feel like you can self-educate, then follow, but spend some time learning about the products. Like follow Skin Farm's feed. Our Kaylee is doing so great on our social media right now. We've like even kicked it into higher gear, educating everyone, because we're like, they're at home and they have time to learn. And we don't want you aimlessly buying products. Like we truly care. At our core, we're healthcare providers. We're not just like selling things. So
Yeah.
that's where we're like, there's information out there. And if you feel like you still don't know, then give us a call and we're here.
Yeah. But so for acne prone skin, you would say probably the thing that tackles it the best, would that be the clarifying pads?
I would do that, and then we've created these bundles. So like starting with the papaya enzyme and the clarifying pads is a great start. If you don't have an SPF, then maybe you do the bundle with the papaya enzyme cleanser and the sheer defense, because those both work on acne, especially if you're like, well, I haven't really been washing my face very well, so maybe I'll start there. So the bundles that we put on the website are also a really good starting point.
Yes. And if you're watching this, I'm going to post it after, but if you're watching this, we're going to do a 10% off discount code. That's Katie10 for you guys to go on and get stuff off of the Skin Farm site for 10% off.
Yeah.
So we already touched on morning and night. Okay, this is good. Steph Salsa asked advice on post-acne scars and red marks. She's gotten rid of most of her acne, but has left over pink, red, and brown spots. And it's disheartening to feel she won the fight with acne, but landed another. So what would you recommend in terms of something that somebody could, if they can't come in for an actual procedure like the photofacial, something that they could be doing with topical skincare that could help that?
The pads. The pads are so good. So
I'm just gonna keep them. Just gonna keep them here.
Just tape it up there. So what you're experiencing is, it sounds like post-inflammatory erythema. So you either get that like redness that lingers after the breakout's gone, and you're like, great, I just battled that breakout, but now I have pigment. Or it could be post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, which tends to be a little more like brownish purple. But the point is that when you had those breakouts, there was so much inflammation in the skin that now there's been pigment created and it lingers. So now you're targeting pigment, not necessarily that active acne breakout. So you want to work on things that increase your skin cell turnover to get rid of those dead skin cells on the top that are pigmented, so they shed and then you have new skin cells come in. And that's what the pads do. And you definitely want to wear SPF, because every time the sun hits that pigment, it can darken. Yeah. So hopefully a take-home point from this is like, I would not invest in everything else if you don't do SPF first. It's super, super important.
I'm realizing we've been on here for an hour. It's probably going to start counting me down because you can only do one for an hour. So is there anything you want to say that can like wrap it up?
Use code Katie10. Is that the code?
Yes, Katie10 for 10% off. So guys, I think it's just so important. Skincare is really important, and even though it is an investment, it's an investment that's worth it, because your skincare is part of your health. Yeah, it is. That's why we're here. We love what we do, so hit us up. Thank you for listening, guys. Thank you, Katie. Oh my gosh, thank you for doing this. It's so helpful, and I hope people got a lot of information, and you can get more information by going to Skin Farm's site. Yep. Follow us and visit our website. Yes. Awesome. I love you. Thank you so much. Bye, Katie. Mwah. Bye. Bye.